Hey everybody. So I'm going to preface this by saying that this is not my first take. I'm a little bit out of practice with this, but this is going to be my video on how to take a beverage order, open a bottle of wine, and serve a bottle of wine. So one of the biggest things to remember is to make sure that you have the correct glassware on the table. You don't want to serve red wine in a champagne glass or champagne in a wine glass. Another thing to remember is to know your wine menu, so that way you can make recommendations based on what your guest is ordering. So for instance, if you know that your host is having beef Wellington and steak, or steak, you would know that a Merlot would probably go really well with that. And you can make that recommendation. It just kind of adds another level of service to what you're trying to do. Another thing to remember is to always begin with the host in terms of taking beverage orders, and then go clockwise from the host. Also, when you are serving, make sure that you give your host or the person who ordered that particular beverage an opportunity to taste first. So for example, in this instance I have a bottle of Yellowtail Merlot. You come up to the host and make sure that the label set is presented, always facing forward, just to make sure that they have, this is the bottle that they ordered. So for instance, you would go up to a table, present the bottle of wine. This is our 2016 Yellowtail Merlot, and if this is what they ordered, or if they agree with the bottle, you can proceed with the tasting portion. So for instance, you would always want to make sure that when you pour them a small portion for tasting. Try to make sure that the glass never hits, the bottle never hits the glass. And if they are agreeable to what the wine tastes like and the temperature and so on and so forth, then you would go ahead and continue pouring the rest of the glass. What is important to note is to make sure that when you're filling the glass, that you only fill the glass half full. Once you're done, give the wine bottle a twist as you're lifting up to avoid dripping. Wipe off the bottle just to make sure that it's neat and doesn't have any sort of wine dripping off of it. Some places have you set it down on the table on a coaster. Other places have you set it up on a side table for you to refill as you see fit throughout service. Another thing to touch on is how to open a bottle of wine. You'll notice this one's already open. Like I said, this isn't my first take, but so this is a waiter's friend, or a wine key, as I've heard it called in a couple of different places. It has a serrated edge for you to go underneath the lip of the bottle and cut the foil that's there. Once you go all the way around, you would remove the foil, put the serrated edge away, and with the corkscrew end, go straight down into the cork, turn it until the cork is matching the actual corkscrew. Set it down so that this notch is on the lip, and then pull up. That'll release the cork, and then from there you can go on and pour tasting portions and go from there. All right, thank you.